Hi. Today's class will discuss about Hibernate session methods, and we will see the subtypes again. Hibernate subtypes. What is Hibernate session? How the session object is creating? Create a project. In a real example, we saw about employee class and employee table, employee class, and employee table we already created. Here, employee HBM class was there. Employee class is there, and employee table information I am mapping into the table class file called as employee.hbm file. In employee test class, we are going to store some data. We are going to store some data by using session.save method. So, how the session object will be creating? What is session? Can you tell me? Anyone tell me what is session object in Hibernate? Hello.
A session object is
a connection to the database.
Sorry?
Session object is a connection to the database.
Yesterday I told you some notes, right?
Yeah, a session is nothing but a single-threaded short queue object that connects application to store, and the selection object wraps a JDBC transaction for create a session and destroy the task by using session.close.
Okay. Based on like this, we'll create the session object, right? Okay. First, we'll load the configuration object. By using config.configure method, we'll call it. Then, based on the config object, I'm going to load the session factory. In the session factory, I am loading the open session. Okay. In session, we have n number of methods are available. Okay. Let me try to use same example again as part of Hibernate HBM XML file and employee class in the different example. I don't want to disturb this example. Okay. I'm just copying the same class. I'm putting here. And again, I'm copying the employee test. Also, I'm copying and putting here in this project. And also, I'm copying the my employee HBM XML file, config XML file. I'm putting over there. Okay, this is just normal project. This is a normal project, just normal project, and I have a employee class and employee table here, and I have ID, and I'm generating the. I don't want to use here. I want to use it for increment. Is everybody understand generator class? Piyush? I'm setting the project jar files. Piyush, are there in the class? Piyush?
Yes.
Yeah, what is generator class? Sajad? Hi, Sajad.
Generator class are predefined class available in Hibernate. All the generator classes implements generated interface.
With generator interface? Who is this?
Sugna.
Okay. Check in the generator interface is there or not, first of all. Teju, make sure you mute your microphone. Please mute it. So here I'm loading the static block. Inside the static block, I'm creating the configuration object, and the session factor I'm loading it. So in the main method, I'm creating the transaction and session object. Currently I assigned a null, and here in try block, session equal to session factor to open session, transaction equal to session dot begin transaction. So I'm creating some employee here, employee ID equal to 2, 3 something. Programmer, and employee dot save method I'm doing. So internally it will fetch the it will directly insert the data into the database. Okay, first we'll see this one, then we'll go ahead with the different session methods. So what are the table name we are using here? Employee. CK Rohit and manager 10,000, right? Suguna, the answer you told is wrong. There is no generate interface available in as part of Hibernate. There is an interface, but the name is different. Okay. Now, is everybody present? Sajad? Okay. Now, if we say run the application, direct class not found. Okay. I'm going to same code. I'm going to existing project. I don't want to waste time on setting the class paths. First project. Okay. Now, if I run the application, now there is a data inserted in the database. Internally, this query is executing. Insert into employee, employee name, employee job, employee salary, employee ID. Values are what are the values we passed it here. So what will happen if I use save employee method in session.save method? Please guys, someone respond it. Piyush, what will happen if I use session.save method, save an employee?
It will store.
You are not Piyush. Who is this? Please answer. Please tell the answer. Whoever I asked. Piyush. Rohit? Yeah, Piyush, tell me answer. What will happen if I use session.save method of employee? Hello?
Hello.
Piyush?
I don't know Chaitanya.
Why, what happened? I already told it long back, first class. Session.save method. Can you explain me the code flow here? Can you please explain me the code flow?
Like from the try block or
From the starting. How the code flow executes when I run the application?
yeah, it executes from the main method.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Why, what is the problem? Where are you missing? If static blocks are there, constructors are there, main method is there, which will execute first?
the
Java?
static block.
So the code flow will start from?
The static block.
Yeah, tell me what is there in static block?
So you are declaring a configuration object
Okay.
and
Can you explain me line, complete line, what I'm doing, what declaration, static declaration, normal declaration?
yes, you are having a static declaration
Okay.
of the object of configuration class, and you are setting it to
Configuration
none.
class where is located? Hibernate.configure.configuration. Please by head this. Yeah. Now tell me, what is next line?
Next line, you are again declaring the session factory object and assigning it as null.
Okay. One is connection URL and Oracle dialect property, HBM DDL, and show SQL employee HBM XML file. Once it is load the mapping resources dot employee mapping resource equal to employee HBM XML file, it will load the it will go and it will execute the employee HBM XML file. Inside employee HBM XML file, we have a root tag called as Hibernate mapping root tag. Inside this Hibernate mapping root tag, we have a class called as employer class, and there is a relation between the Pojo object and just a table here, and the column, property and columns. Property and columns. So employee property is ID, and employee property is name, and employee property is job, employee property is salary. Again, employee table column is employee ID, emp ID, and emp name, and emp salary, and emp job. We are just mapping the relationship here. Then, as soon as the configure method is load, it will do this. It will load this Hibernate config XML file, and internally Hibernate config XML file will load the employee.hvm XML file. Based on this, I am going to load the session factory. Based on session factory, I am loading this open session available. So session.save method will do, it will store the data into the database. If you see here, Pavani programmer 100. Is it clear, right? Now, as part of Hibernate, we're going to see different methods. Now, there is a record in the database. Is everybody clear? Guys, please respond. If I don't want to take the class also fine, but I want you should understand everything. Everything you should understand. Pavani, you understand the Hibernate flow?
Yes, Chaitanya.
Piyush? Piyush?
Yes.
Yeah, very good. Rohit?
Yes, Chaitanya.
Sajad?
Yes, sir.
Most of it, most.
Hello?
Yes, most.
Yeah, because I want to make it clear everybody, because I don't want to go more. I feel I'm going more deep inside, but I want to make sure everybody should understand the concept. That's what. Is it fine, right, Sujan?
Okay.
Yeah. Suguna?
I have to repeat, that is my thing, but from your side it's okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Suguna?
Yes, Chief.
What is the meaning of yes?
I
Not
understood the
understand,
question.
understand. You can tell yes. Yes answer will go to two ways. If I ask a question, not understand, yes, Chaitanya. That is good. Okay. Teju?
Yes, sir.
Yes. See, the way Piyush should explain, everybody should explain as part of interview like this. He misses the small concept called as configuring the configuration. That makes very important here. So Piyush, next time if you try to explain, please concentrate on the configuring method also. Okay? Expression was very good. Now, I'm commenting the session method here. I have some data here. I'm loading the session object, transaction object. I want to get the data from the database. I want to get the Pavani details. Pavani programmer, and she is telling per day $1,100 per hour. Okay. So I'm going to use session dot load method. Session dot load method. Here we have to pass the argument called employee dot class, and what type of number you are trying to retrieve. I want to pass new long of 1. Okay. So this will return the employee information. Load method. What is the written type of the load method? Suguna, what is the written type of the session dot load method?
Load
What is the written type of the session dot load method in Hibernate?
object is a return type for the
Yes.
session
So
dot load method.
yeah, please remember, object I can write on here. What is object, Pavani? So if I use directly object, right? So it will get some object. I want to get object. Object is the superclass for all the classes in Java, whereas my employee class also an object. I consider it as an object. So in the place of object, I'm going to use employee object. So I'm trying to get, I supposed to get object data, but I'm trying to get employee. So it is asking us to forcefully typecast it. Type mismatch cannot convert from object to employee. So here this load method is returning the object data, but what type of object I want? I'm looking for employee. So whatever the data, suppose I want a ticket, AC ticket, that person is telling you don't want AC, you don't have AC ticket, you have only this one. So you will give normal ticket. Then what I will do with that normal ticket, I will go and I'll catch the train. Based on the train, I will go and I will clock to PC and I'll convert into AC. Right? Same process. So here, I don't want to accept object data. I want to typecast it. So I'm converting the object into the employee object. Now, we have the employee here. Employee dot sys employee dot get ID get name get job, get sal. Oh, that's it. Clear? My run the application. See here, I'm trying to retrieve the data from the database by using session.load method. Okay, the ID is long. I'm providing long, but it is integer. Teju, Tejasvi,
Yes, sir.
can you mute yourself? Mute. So internally, I'm fetching this query. If I use load method, let me check this query. I'm getting some error here. So let me check based on this query whether I can pull the data or not. So this is the query internally it is executing. So select employee 0, employee ID as the employee so and so. You don't need to worry for this. We'll just pass as a 1 here. So no data, no database. Why? Oh, really there is no data. Why our data is not inserted? What is the table name we are using here? Employee. Oh, no data. So can someone quickly manually insert the data here? This is the way also we can insert it. Pawan is my manager. So he is senior manager. CEO. Director. Okay. Accommodate changes. Now we'll see the select. This is the way I inserted the data. So this is the data is there. Change to programmer, manager, senior manager, CEO, director. Okay. Now, if I use the load method, we will see the data, how data is coming. I want to see the first column. Run as a Java application. No row with the given identity exists again. Okay. I'll tell you why it is updating the data here. Let me fix that issue. Yeah. 1 Chetu programmer 10. 1 Chetu programmer 10. Why it was not getting, why it was clearing, right? Because I created it here, hvm to ddl dot auto. It will keep on, it will automatically create the table. If data is not there, I told you, right, what is hvm dot ddl will do? It will create the table. It will make clear everything in the data. So if even though data is there in the database, even the data is there in the database, if I use hvm dot auto, hvm to ddl auto, it could create, so it will recreate the table. Once you recreate the table, it will drop the table and recreate it. That scenario, I'm losing my data. So better not to use this auto equal to create. Okay. Now I have a data is a Chaitanya, Chaitu programmer 10 employee ID, right? Now if you see here the output, so based on the load method, I am loading the first integer, first object. So I'm trying to look for second column. Two, Pavani manager 1000. Everything is clear? How to get the data from the database by using Hibernate. Now everybody understand how to get the data from the database, how to save the data from the data in the database by using Hibernate? Please respond.
Yes, Chaitanya. Yes, Chaitanya.
So how to load the data, how to get the data from the database by using which method?
By using a session.load method.
Session.load.
Yeah. If I use third column is there in the database?
No.
No. Okay. Now run the application. What will happen?
It will throw exception.
It is not. It will throw the exception. Exception, right?
Yes.
Right? It will throw some exception. If data is not there in the database, if I use a session.load method of that column, then it will throw the exception. Remember this one. Okay. There is a concept called as, there is a method, one more method called as session.get method. Session.get. class new integer of 3. So I'm going to get the return type is employee object here, employee 2. So I'm going to comment this code. I should typecast here. What is get method return type is there?
Object.
Get method return type is object, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, based on 1, let me see whether I can get the data from the database by using Hibernate get method, session.get method in Hibernate. Got the data?
Yes.
Okay, I'm using second here. Right click and run the application. You got the data?
Yes.
Tejo, you're understanding? Tejasvi, are you there in the class?
Yes, sir.
Are you understanding? How to get the
Yes,
data
sir.
from the data? Data from the Hibernate?
Yes, sir.
The data from the session by using Hibernate?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, let me check with 3 column. 3 column, is there in the database or not? Dharani? Third column is there in database?
No, not there. Third column.
Okay. So now, if I run the third column, suppose third column by using load method, what will happen when I run the third column? It was throwing some exception, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. If I run the application by using get method, what we'll see what will happen. What is this?
Null pointer exception.
What is this?
Null pointer exception.
What is this?
Java.line.null pointer exception.
Excellent. So when we don't have data in the database, we are trying to use session.get method in Hibernate. It will throw the null point exception, whereas load method it won't throw the null point exception, right? Right or not? If I use session.get method of third column, because third column is not there in the database, it will throw the null point exception, whereas load method it won't throw the exception at all. Okay, this is a very important concept. What is the, please write interview question, what is the difference between load and get method in Hibernate? Please write down. To retrieve the, first we'll talk about load method. To retrieve the, make a heading a load. Okay. Method 1. To retrieve a database record in the form of Java object, we can use load method. Very important concept. To retrieve the database record in the form of Java object, we can use load method. If we are trying to retrieve a record, next point, if you are trying to retrieve a record and if it is not there in the database, not there in the database, then it will throw a object not found exception. It will throw an object not found exception. The object will not be next point. The object will not be initialized with the values while calling session dot load method. Dharani, can you mute it?
Okay.
Session dot load method. Next point. The object will be initialized while calling session dot get method. Load method is lazy initialization. Load method is lazy initialization. The next point, get method. The get method is also same as load method. To retrieve a database record in the form of the Java object, we can use get method. Next point. While loading a record from the database, if the record is not there in the database, Sorry, it will return null. Okay. If the record is not in the database, then the session dot get method will return null. It does not return any exception. It does not return any exception. Okay. Answer is clear.
But it has shown null pointer exception, right?
I handled here. I just displayed in catch block. I handled it.
Okay.
But the output is null here coming, right? It is getting null only. There is a method called as delete method. This one is clear, right? Hello? Yeah. There is a method called as session dot delete method. Session dot delete method. So how to delete the object? Create employee object. Employee dot just to set ID. I want to delete one. What is first record, Teju? Rohit? What is first record?
It's Chaitu Programmer 10. Chaitu Programmer 10.
So I want to delete that record. I want to pass this employee object into the delete method. Now, run the application. Delete from employee where emp id equal to 1. See the data in the database. To delete it, right? So, please write the syntax for delete method. To delete a record in the database, we use session dot delete method in the Hibernate. And internally it will execute. It internally will execute delete from employee where emp id equal to question mark. Please write on that one. Please write on this line also. Hibernate will take the ID column in the where condition. Okay. Now, there is the update method. Session dot update. Before update, I want to create object for employee. Employee dot this one I can use set ID number 1. Since 1 is not there, I'm going to use 2 here. Now again employee dot, for instead of manager Pavani got promoted to senior manager. Okay, set job senior manager. Then that employee object I'm passing it here. Now run the application. Update employee, set employee name, employee job, employee salary, where employee ID equal to question mark. To update a database record in Hibernate, we can use session dot update of employee. Internally, it will execute the query update employee, set emp name equal to question mark, emp job equal to question mark, emp salary equal to question mark, where employee ID. Even though we are updating only one record, but it look for all the data, all the columns. Please write this. No one will tell these many internal details, guys. Please concentrate. They will tell one session and get that's it. This is practically I am showing the examples. Some people will open the PPTs and they will explain the output, but I don't like to do that one. Then if I can also explain the same way, but I don't want to cheat the people. Please concentrate. Please practice. If you practice today, you will understand today. If you practice after 1 month, you cannot understand anything. There is a method called as clear method. Session dot clear. If I use session dot clear method from the application, there is no output, right? Right? Clear? Madam, clear? Guys, clear? Piyush, Rohit, clear? There is no output
So
here,
what does
right?
it do?
Yeah, I'll come back. But output is there or not? No, right?
Yes.
Now, yes, sir.
There is no.
Yeah, okay. You came reverse answer. Okay. Now, by using get method, I want to get the, because there is a data in the database, right? Right? Two data is there. Now, I want to get the data from the session by using get method of 2. Run the application. What will happen?
It shows null.
It shows again this one.
0.
Why senior when this is coming? Why it is null level is 0? Session dot clear method will be removed from the, the data will be removed, sorry. By using session dot clear method, the data will be removed from the session, not from the database. So session dot clear method is used, right? So it is removed from the session itself. So, but database it is there. That's the reason session.get method is not written. It is written some null values, right? Right. Hello.
Yes, Chaitanya.
Yeah. Session.clear method will remove the records from the session, not from the database. Not from the database.
I have a question. Chaitanya, it just returned manager, right?
Yeah.
Why like that?
We have to investigate on it. Manage just now updated, right? We'll see that one also.
Okay.
But other values came as null, right?
Yeah.
There is a session close method. The session close method already we are using here in the catch block, in the final block, I guess. Yeah. By using session.close method, end the session by disconnecting from the JDBC connection and cleaning up. See, internally, Hibernate uses JDBC to get the connections. JDBC logic to get the connections. If you see here, how to get the next question, how to get the connection object from the session. Connection. The connection method return type is connection object. Like this it is. Okay. Now there is a method called as session dot contains. We'll talk about these contains. There are some other methods are there. Commit method. Commit method. Commit method is not there. Why? Okay. There is a method called evict method, and there is a method called as flush. And there is a method called as get entry name. Get identifier. Get transaction. Is committed. Is connected. And session dot is open. Session dot match, very important, very important. Session dot persist, very important, very important. And session dot reconnect. Session dot lock. And session dot refresh. Session dot replicate. So these are the very important methods are there as part of Hibernate session. So please concentrate on these methods. So we'll talk about tomorrow, same class.